Cameras here. Only I'm over the road waiting for him. I have been for 11 days.
Okay.
Alright. Have you got bets on me? Who's got 11 days? Go on. Are you sure he's done it? Well, if you see him today and he's passing, you can tell him I'd like to work with him. Anytime he's ready, don't worry. Before I start getting a bit pale. Alright. Is this David?
No.
The first initial contact with fracking is when my house was damaged.
Right.
But that's not the reason I'm fighting fracking.
Right.
That just made me aware of it. So I'm not going to go into detail now because a lot of people have heard it already. So that made me aware. It wasn't until about 6-7 months later when it was became apparent that quadrilla had caused the earthquakes. Then I went, oh, man-made earthquake. That doesn't sound right. Fracking. What does that?
So how long ago was this?
4 years, about 4.5. Oh no, 4 years ago. It's 4 years ago this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, 4 years ago this month when I started getting in contact to campaign.
Right.
It was slightly before that when I started looking into it. And very luckily, I've checked the Tyndall report, looked through that, full of information. Looked at Fracking L, which is a great video, and then also the other one was in New York. They'd already put a moratorium in, and 2 senators were questioning professionals, and they had all about 4 or 5 minutes each. And about the 4th or 5th person in, I went, bloody hell, just got to stop fracking. That was it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Where did you take it from that when you found out quadrilla was involved? And
well, initially, because I mean, again, I was a DJ Kids entertainer. I had no clue what to do. But I did see a little slip in the paper about a meeting at the beginning of December and it was Friends of the Earth and Reef had put it on. They are the brilliant group. And we watched again Fracking L, and by the end of it, we went, just got to stop it, and form a group. And there's only about 15 people in that room, and I think 4 of us got together and said we're going to start a group, and that was the start of the campaigning.
And what was the group?
Thing we did, RAP, and then subsequently after that, I went on to form Frack Free Filed, which is near me. So a lot of people saying, "Oh, you're down the road," when we didn't do one down here. So I started doing Frack Free Filed, FYLD with a Y, filed with a Y. The first one we ever did was a petition outside where Quadrilla were putting a presentation on. And even on that first day, when I spoke to Mark Miller, who was then CEO of Quadrilla, they were laying.
Yeah.
First day, and he couldn't answer a question. He turned tail and went away. That was just being a novice.
Okay. Did anything particularly happen between what happened with Quadrilla up in Blackpool and the time that they started then down in Balcombe, which was when a lot of people got on board and a lot of people started to know a bit more about fracking?
Right, well, I'd already made links with Balcombe a year before then. So when I walked down through Wales and into Balcombe and then into London, it was really just a network to make sure that people knew about fracking. So I already had contacts with Charles and Vanessa and Catherine down there, and so already having that link was a case of Anna's Road that I'd already protested outside of for 5 days, and when they up sticks from there and went down to Balcombe, that means there was nothing going on where we were. So the story was down in Balcombe because it's Quadrilla down in Balcombe. Held those with the information we've got already up here, how inept it'd been, and so that's what it was. I was going down there every weekend. And it's more to help. It's as much to help us than it was to help Balcombe, because that's where the story was. And we got it in the media where we were. So filed residents are down in Balcombe, blah blah blah.
Well, but Balcombe put it into the media. I mean, what they gave it, what they allowed into the media, and twisting things to make it. They were calling us swampies and tree huggers and shouting "get a job," and now look at it now. I mean, what they don't call us those names anymore because I think they've come to realise we know a hell of a lot more about it than they do.
Well, another good thing about there was, again, adapting and thinking outside the box. I mean, I've just explained there about, going down there, because that's where the story was.
Yeah.
Again, you're talking about DJ, kids entertainer.
Yeah.
Somebody that's never done anything like this.
Yeah.
So it's not a, evolving thing. But down there, we were evolving. Was it Reclaim the Power? Supposed to be doing drags. Realised that was the story. That's where where we need to be in. Stopping quadrilla for 4 days.
You mentioned Reclaim the Power, I was there at that. I was at Bolcombe right the way through the whole of the summer there, and I didn't have the first clue about it. To be honest, it was just local to me, within 9 miles of where I lived, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about. But very quickly, I sort of learned how dangerous this thing was, and I think that happened for a lot of people. And that day that there was like 2,000 people at Bolcombe marching down the road, it was just amazing, and the direct actions that happened there. That's the first time I've ever known anybody do direct actions and seen people getting arrested. Yeah. So that brings me now to what you're doing. I mean, hunger strike. Pretty radical.
Well, I know we're going to finish fracking. I've never doubted that, and nobody can ever say that I've ever doubted it. It's on record. Because the reason being is, another thing as well is, I said it'll always end in court, because what judge in their right mind would say you can contaminate water, soil, air, children's futures, and allow it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we know that. I know we're going to finish it. We've won at Lancashire County Council with all the evidence and everything. What we put in front of them. What I want to do is finish it sooner rather than later. I want to end it now, and I want to end it for I'm not going to be selective with this one here, because I know that they have been hurting a lot with what's happening to them. So Pat, Diane, and John. I'm not going to say what they've gone through, but I do it for people like that, because they've gone through a lot of pain. When they should be having time with either loved ones or or they're not well themselves. So I want to end that pain. I want to end that fear now, and in doing that, hopefully, other communities won't have to go through what we've gone through. Because in a way, I wear that badge in a way of saying I'm glad it happened where I am, because I know I'll stop it. And then that way, no other community has to go through it. That's why I work so hard going to other communities and helping them and get them up and running, so they can fight it where they are. Because we've got to grind the whole industry on. It's not just one company; it's the whole industry, and get this government out, because they shouldn't be in.
Do you feel you've done everything else you possibly could?
Well, we've been down with 26 different groups. We've written in, I've walked in. We've legally, again, with objection letters, 40,000 letters went into Lancashire County Council. Getting communities going, winning at Lancashire County Council at Singleton, Preston Road and Rosica.
Yeah.
2 sites are now fields. Yeah, I think we've done plenty already.
Yeah.
So it's not really a case of, I want this nailed now. And I also want people now just to focus on the 2 people that's driving this. It's Cameron and Osborne. They're the ones, they're the target. You should keep mentioning them. I'm talking about fracking, they're the target. And we should man up outside across there. I'm putting my life on the line there, so just to get people to focus on where everybody passes here.
Yeah.
I handed a letter to Andy Murray because he came out of Downing Street. How many times are you going to bump into people like that? It's here. That's where you bump into them. You walk up and down here all the time.
Yeah.
All the movers and shakers are in London.
Have you had much interest where you've been sat there? Have many people talk to you?
Absolutely, and a lot of people from London as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll tell you, this is right. I'm going to bring it all into a head. I've had somebody that's fighting Hinckley, somebody that's fighting H2O, and somebody that's fighting, and these are the communities, and asking for advice.
Right.
And who's the other one? And somebody from Heathrow. So the 4 big things in this country.
Yeah.
All fighting, all past there, and we've shared numbers, because the whole part of this is not just networking, it's sharing what you know and advice. I won't go too far into that, but it's quite a bit. But it's just what I've learned, and I learned stuff from them. And I also met a group in Wales that won beating in fracking. The 15 in the planning committee threw out the application for fracking. We didn't even know they existed.
Yeah.
We just met them down here. But unless you're there, it ain't going to happen. And that's what I'm doing with this. Will it see it to the end? I don't know.
What about this taking away the decision from local councils?
Well, with the Secretary of State, but not only done it with the fracking, they've also done it with the 12-year campaign with the salt mines as well. So really, Lancashire is the jewel in the crown. We know there's so much infrastructure going there. From the local reservoir, United Utilities have put a pipe in, proper water main into Preston Road site. We've got roads being widened. We've got at the airport, Blackpool Power College are going to be up there now, and they're going to a college for onshore gas training and stuff like that. We've got Thornton, they've got ICI up there, pumped a load of money into that. It just goes on. We've got the four main the utilities working together. We've got Belford BT, the Highways, United Utilities, and National Grid, all working in the same area, all working together. In fact, when I went to see the local reservoir, there's been work going on there for 24/7. A reservoir, by the way, 24/7 for weeks now. It was a security guard from the Highways maintenance got out of one of their vans and came over and spoke to me.
Yeah.
Why the security? Why you have security on there? So it's really, we are. And when we stopped it in June, that was a massive shock to him.
Well, yeah, of course it was. Yeah.
Well, but not just for that fact that we turned those two fields down. It was the fact that everything else had to grind to a halt. So they've had all these things planned. For them it had just been, that'll be right, rubber stamp it. Because as you remember, at the beginning, it was one guy that rubber stamped it, Stuart Perigo, for the first three sites: Andrews Road, Beaconsall, and Singleton. Right? When the earthquakes came on, then we knew about the other sites. We stopped all them sites. Preesall, and Preesall Farm. So after that, when we knew about it, all the next three sites we stopped them.
Yeah.
So it was a case of, because it was from the planning committee, and again that came from objection letters and getting.
But they must be upsetting the councils as well, local councils, by doing this, because it undermines their power. There's no point in them actually taking a vote.
Well, what's happened since then is, because of that, Lancashire County Council are getting in contact with other councils are getting in contact with them, and some of them are coming out saying we're not going to allow fracking where we are.
Yeah.
So the government are taking on local democracy.
Yeah.
And no matter what they do or what they say, when people know the truth and the facts, and the Medac report is a brilliant document to have, then they've got nowhere to go. Because even their own, and I've used this against them, even their own, one of the last reports said once people know about fracking, they're against it. Their own bloody report.
Yeah.
So why are they taking out? Why is the Secretary of State coming in and saying taking the decision out of the judicial hands? Judicial review hands, because he knows they'll lose it.
Yeah.
We've done our research. That's what won at Lancashire County Council. You know what I mean? It wasn't those personal views of those people. They listened to the evidence, like you would on a jury in a murder case.
Yeah.
Yeah. They listen to the evidence and then you make a decision. Now, is that what they're going to do next? Are they going to start on the courts next? Because that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
It was a democratic decision. 15 people listened to the evidence, a lot of evidence, put under a lot of pressure from the company and the government to get this through.
Yeah.
And what happened? They decided against it. And that was a very brave decision. But it also came from a lot of work from that community, a lot of work and a lot of fear and a lot of time put in there as well. So we've got to stop that.
But what are your plans? I mean, obviously you're on this hunger strike. We're on day 11 now. How are you feeling?
Pretty good. A little bit tired today, more in the head.
Yeah.
But I'm being a good boy. I'm taking me multivit tablets
and your water.
And my water, yeah.
Yeah. And people looking after you in the evenings, getting you somewhere to stay and things.
It's been a different day every day, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's just adapting. The first night we had a tent that was leaking a bit. Second night, somebody kindly donated a tent that was a bit better, but a bit wet on the floor. And then the third night, got everything sorted for an information tent, 4-man tent with it was all flat, was open, all ready. Computer in there, storage, in the other side of the tent, and then the police moved us on the next day. So today I'm on to start from scratch again. So 11 days in, when we're a bit weaker, is this what they do? Is this what they do to suppress, people trying to do peaceful protest? You don't get more, passive than doing it.
You're in a designated area, aren't you?
Precisely.
So if that's a designated area, why have they designated that and then said you can't have your information tent there? Or
it was this little thing here that came, from the council, City of Westminster. Just happened to have that in the pocket. Good about that.
Yeah.
And it said there's a bylaw that you're not allowed to have a tent or erect a tent in that area.
Okay.
Or sleep over, or sleep in a tent over.
Right. Okay.
So, but other people have done. But I'll be honest with you, it was on my 10th day. I did not. Normally I would fight it. Normally I would, put up a stink. But I don't know how much energy I've got.
Yeah.
So it's the end goal. So
Okay.
for one time in my life, well, probably I've been sensible a few times, but one time I did the sensible thing and looked at the end game.
Yeah.
And that is to get into Downing Street, make sure that it speaks to the Prime Minister and he gets the evidence.
Okay. Is that likely to happen, do you think? Honestly,
Well,
what do
people
you
say
think?
unlikely,
Yeah.
but nothing's impossible.
Okay.
If everybody's been saying to me from this, from day one we've been fighting fracking. It's a done deal. It's a government. They'll do what they want. They'll do it anyway. They're doing that now with the Secretary of State, but we'll fight that as well. The thing is, what you do is just. I smiled when somebody said to me, Secretary of State's taking it over.
Yeah.
So, well, people now know that democracy's dead in this country, if that's the case. He's
Yeah.
still not made the decision, by the way.
No.
You know what I mean? We've still got that fight on our hands there. And Gulver's just gone across the top of the road. Gove, yeah, we are.
Oh, right, Michael Gove.
Yeah, he's just gone across the top of the road. But I'm saying to
The
you,
Zionist.
yeah, you see all of them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you. They're there all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why we need people down here that know what they're talking about. They're not wild. You need to be respectful with it.
Yeah.
But that's the only way we're going to get the word out. Because I believe the way I work it is I've still not spoken to this person yet that's going to stop it. The person the next person I speak to may be the one that can stop it.
Yeah.
Whether it's a barrister or a lawyer or an exec. You know what I mean? I haven't still spoken to them, and that's what keeps me that's what drives me on to keep
So
working.
that might be your goal, is to meet the right person here. Somebody takes an interest that.
Because these are where the people are.
Yeah.
These are where the people are. And he had a guy the other day, and it was very underhand the way he said it. I spoke to him, and he listened intently, about 20-25 minutes. Took everything on board. Very intelligent man. Only a young man, about late 20s. And at the end of it, he went, "Thank you very much for the information." He went, "Let's see if I can ruffle some feathers." And it was just the way he said it. And I went, you had a feeling that this guy has got contacts or something.
Yeah.
But unless we're talking to people, why when you're living in a metropolis should you worry about fracking? It's way down on your agenda. But a lot of people that live here have got family, they've moved here, and
Yeah.
they've got family all over the country.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect 2/3 of the country.
And a lot of them commute here. I mean, from places like Bolcombe. This is, one of the main places.
Precisely. And places that have not been affected or even they know about it yet. So unless we're speaking to the right people, we're talking to our communities that are going from scratch. Some of these people, I spoke to a guy that does the fracking, the scientist behind it,
Yeah.
and he said there's a new technique behind it. We spoke for about 40 minutes, about, on 2 occasions, yeah? I'm picking his brains. Unless I do that, you've got to speak to the people that are for it. You've got to speak to unless you've got to know your enemy. I spoke to a lady that does about carbon capture, and then 3 days later on the climate march, she can be a big old I went, "Sorry, they've pulled your budget," and she went, "Yeah, well."
Yeah.
And she was into depth about that. I said anything to do with green, clean energy, they're going to pull in. So again, talking to people. The other night was 2 nights ago. It was a little bit warmer out here. We were talking to people about fracking. There's 4 young people on the chairs, just leaning over the fence. 10:30 at night, talking about fracking, and they took it all on. We give them leaflets, and they went away and did, about. It's ongoing, and it's all calm because you've got time to speak to them. It's great, and I truly believe we've got to bring it to London now. We've got to see a presence every single day about fracking. It's the only way you're going to get the local papers on board. When you got some days you'll have other protest groups coming down, so you've got 1,000 people there. They're going to be watching you. We've got to bring it. We've got to bring it to that door. They're the enemy. Osborne and Cameron are the enemy. We've got to bring it down to them, all of us.
Should we knock on their door?
Okay? Yeah. Well, I have done a few times, haven't I?
Yeah.
So, like I said, for them, I want this to be end game.
Okay.
And I know some people haven't got much time, but put some time in your week, take a bit of holiday off, do 3 days down here. You'll be empowered, and you might be the person to see the person that's going to stop it.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it if you're not here.
Yeah.
You have to be here. This is where it's happening, and this is where we'll stop it.
Is there anything you need anybody to sort of be aware of that's going to be happening? Or
Well, there's actually 2 things. Well, to be honest with you, what I would love people to do is hit the brand. right, and hit the brandies. Because I'm fasting out here, I'd love people in local areas fast outside the Barclays Bank, because obviously they're back in third energy, 97%. So if we could actually hit a brand, that would be a good way of doing it. So if you can't do it this Friday, start it next Friday. But go to your Barclays Bank and fast. Now Monday is I'm going to be going into dancing, not in the door, to the door, but with major letters this time. That's going to have more impact. So I'd love support for people to come down and help me down there. Show us some support. That'll be 12 noon.
Yeah.
On Monday. What will it be on Monday?
Well, it's just coming Monday, isn't it? It's the 3rd today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they're coming Monday after the 3rd.
So it'll be the 7th, won't it?
The 7th,
yeah. Okay.
So high noon.
High noon, Monday the 7th of December.
And that'll be 2 weeks since I've been on hunger strike.
Right.
And that will be clear information that goes into David Cameron. And if he can still say he wants to frack after hearing evidence and the information, and the letters will be for your eyes only.
Okay.
Beforehand, every letter we've had has been from the correspondent. So he can always use the excuse that I've not seen it. Why didn't you give it me?
Yeah.
You'll have no excuse this time.
So once you've delivered that information to them, and I take it will be accepted at the door.
Yeah.
Would that be a conclusion to your hunger strike, or
not until we get a response from David Cameron, not his correspondent, David Cameron? Because unless you know it, you can't be pointing the finger and saying you want to make my hometown of Blackpool the fracking capital of Europe, and that's what this is about. Yeah, he's made a statement, and where's his evidence? And you can't be doing that as a Prime Minister. If you're a leader, you've got to know if it's going to impact on people, and nobody should suffer for your heat. Nobody should suffer for your food. Nobody.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen with this. We know people will suffer. People will die. They have done in America, in Canada, and Australia. Lives are devastated.
Yeah.
So if you show me the evidence where one, fracking can be done safely, which it can't be. There is no evidence it can be done safely. And secondly, what your evidence about everything else that you're doing to sell this to us. Alright, you're not putting my children's futures in danger, and it will not happen. I will stop fracking in Lancashire.
Okay. Thank you, Gayzer. Cheers, mate. Should we knock on their door?
Okay? Yeah. Well, I have done a few times, haven't I?
Yeah.
So.